in week 5 of Deckwars. So Kaldi up 1-0, and like you were saying, Theude probably already has thought a little bit about what he wants the second deck to be. Well, what do you think it should be? I mean, we still have, again, the Warlock available. It's so versatile in any matchup. And then I guess Druid and Shaman kind of fits those bills too. He's kind of got these classes that have been known to be okay in most matchups, right?
I think Theude is in trouble, actually. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind banning Priest was, but he probably expected a Warlock ban and maybe wanted to outsmart Kaldi with banning the Priest. But then Kaldi banning his Warrior put Theude in trouble, where Theude losing this tempo battle, Mage versus Hunter, is left with Shaman, Druid, and Warlock, where we don't know which kind of Warlock is he playing.
True.
Druid is originally very bad versus Hunter, and unless you really tweak it to counter Hunter, but then if you come with a Warrior lineup, you might just play a standard ramp. Then Shaman originally was very bad versus Hunter. At some point, Sixo proved that it's actually good, but then again, you have to tweak it. And Warlock, well, you know, we don't know which Warlock he's playing, so I don't think he has a better matchup than 50-50. He needs to stop this Hunter with something. And what is he going to pick?
Yeah, well, it's definitely tough, right? There's no clear answer. There doesn't seem to be a strong wrong answer. He's gonna go with a Shaman, though. Like you said, Zixo at one point did prove that, you know, Shamans can do fine against Hunter, but of course not kind of the standard just ladder deck that everyone's going to be using. Maybe some tweaks needed there.
It's a very difficult matchup. Well, right now we are looking at the Mulligan hand, and Kaldi we can see is playing Clockwork Gnome, so he is really into buffing those Undertakers. Undertakers being one of the most important cards. He decides to keep the Clockwork Gnome and Juggler, so instead of just throwing it away and trying to fish for Undertaker, he values the 1-drop. Against the Shaman, 1-drop is very important to be able to clear the board, clear the totems. You want to always face an empty board when facing against Shaman, because Shaman can snowball if the board is full.
And yeah, he's considering trying to get double Knife Jugglers out, which could be monumental, especially if they both live until turn 3 and he gets a Snake Trap out at the same time.
I like this play. It's like risky because there can always be a Lightning Bolt or something to deal with your Knife Juggler or even a Rock Biter. But if you're able to set up this kind of board and there is no answer, that might just be amazing.
Yeah. Now, Feral Spirit and Lightning Storm both in hand for Theude, so, you know, he'll have some form of an answer turn 3. Of course, not necessarily against the Snake Trap, but against maybe these knives to at least soak in some damage. But nothing to do really here. And, you know, if he puts down the Feral Spirits early, that's always the drawback for Shamans. The overload early on either of those cards is so big.
I think Lightning Storm is actually a good decision. You can play... Well, there was a couple of options, but Lightning Storm ensures that jugglers are out of the way. And you are dealing with the possible damage here. If you play Feral Spirit, it's possible that a Hunter has... Well, Eagle Hornbow deals with one and then deals with the other. Juggler still deals damage, or maybe plays Unleash the Hounds even and gets a lot of knives there. So Lightning Storm was a good decision, but on the other hand, Kaldi also knows that Lightning Storm is out of the way. So right now, he will be tending to overextend. Like, he is a bit safer when just playing minions on the board.
Yep, and because of the overload, nothing really to do other than put down a totem for Theude. And Kaldi, turn 4. Yeah, just the Animal Companion seems the right way to go, although it's not the most optimal mana use. Gets Misha, which I think is just fine. I guess in that turn, any of the 3 really wouldn't have been too bad.
Misha is... Yeah, you're right. Like, getting Leok maybe wouldn't be that great. And looking at Theude's hand, Huffer... I think Misha is probably the best, because Misha can survive the Feral Spirit. So for Theude, what's the strategy now? How is he coming back from here? He has some good... Like, he has the Hex for a possible high main in the future. But he needs to deal with this board right now, and he knows that Lightning Storm is already used. He is probably going to... Like, if Theude is going to win this match, this particular game, he has to outlive the Hunter. He has to respond to whatever Hunter plays with his card and be able to exhaust whatever Hunter gets. So Hunter is like running out of cards, and then Theude still has the life to survive and take the game after that. But right now, it's pretty tough.
Yep. And so, you know, he went just with the draw, which got cleared immediately by Kaldi. And now we're back to Theude's turn. But, you know, I think with the draw, he got the anti-heal bot too. That made sure that he still had the option to play his Fire Elemental. He got his second one now this turn. And I can't really say much against that. Obviously, there was the option of the Feral Spirits and the Flame Tongue Totem, but we'll see what he can do. Now, the Fire Elemental isn't really going to give him an answer against Misha immediately, but at least maybe get rid of the Clockwork Gnome, because that 2 damage can stack up eventually.
Yeah, right now it looks bad for Theude again, because his plays are reactive. There is this... what Kaldi needs to do is only keep this Misha on board, and he has answer. He has another kill command if he wants to. He can develop one of the strongest minions, but I kind of like kill command as well to just clear. Really many options. Like, which minion do you play? Do you play Sky Golem? Do you play the Lion? Do you keep this kill command for a finisher? He decides to develop the Sky Golem, which will probably meet with the Hex.
Yeah, and if it meets with the Hex, that is going to open up the high main. So I think Kaldi trying to kind of fish for that Hex at this point in trade of just keeping the Fire Elemental alive for another turn. And he knows he has the Snake Trap there and that one Lightning Storm was used. So if it attacks Misha, it'll just die to one of the snakes next turn. So not too big of a deal for him.
Theude is probably a bit happy about seeing the Snake Trap instead of the Freezing Trap. He didn't test for the trap before, so Freezing Trap will just deny his turn 6, more or less. And now it gives him a chance to come back to hex the piloted Sky Golem. You don't want to see anything scary from the Sky Golem, or you definitely don't want to take 6 damage to the face as well. Yeah. So right now, it seems like he is stabilizing more or less. He also has this Hearthvods, as you mentioned. But then
the Feral Spirits come out, and that should save his Fire Elemental from the snakes at the very least, which I think is the only thing he would have had to worry about, given Kaldi's hand.
Can Kaldi kill the Fire Elemental and still develop Savannah High Main this turn? Not really, but he can just deny the Elemental with the switch.
Yeah, just making a 1/6. I think that's fine. You're not going to be worried about Shamans buffing their own creatures too often, other than Bloodlust.
That's pretty smart. It's like, I really enjoy spare parts as the elements of the game. Like, you have all those smart plays. You get the spare part. You have to make the best out of it. And in this case, he just denied like a 6/5 creature becoming a 1/6, which doesn't even matter in this matchup. The only way to get it back is to silence your own creature, but well, for Shaman it's possible. Right now Theude doesn't have the Air Shock in his hand, but if he would, he can get the Fire Elemental back, which is the ultimate Frog Slayer at the moment.
Yeah, so you'll just keep that out. You know, and 1 damage isn't too bad against Hunters, right? They're going to have a lot of low-cost minions, so it's still going to do some value for Theude, but for Kaldi, I think that was the best play that turn if you wanted to develop the high main. Because now, you know, we go a turn or two more, and if Kaldi can't get a lot more damage down, or, you know, at least a much more developed board, then it's going to be tougher for him as these legendary stars pop out. Sylvanas this turn, you know, we do have Dr. Boom prepped to come out next turn, maybe with another totem or Flame Tongue Totem even. It's looking a little bit scary.
Well, Eagle Hornbow is a fantastic card to get because he will be able to go through the Feral Spirit without using his high main. High main can go for face. He can deal a lot of damage this turn as well. Can he just... Yeah, he can basically deal 8 damage to face, which will put Theude on 9. With Kill Command in hand, he is the finisher. He will have the Eagle Hornbow for the next turn. So Theude will have to actually heal himself and deal with the board at the same time.
Very true. Now, Sylvanas will, of course, help get rid of the high main and steal something. But at that point, no matter what he steals, he's just denying 2 extra damage for the next turn. So 6 would still be on board. And especially if he has to use his anti-Keel bot, he'd be left with only 4 mana. Which I guess you'd have to kind of wish for the Taunt Totem at that point.
Yeah, it's a very tricky situation here. It's also, you have to look at the board and see if you can maybe possibly win. There is an Earthshock in his hand. It was, I kind of didn't see it before, but if he Earthshocks the high main, then attacks with Sylvanas, he will steal something. He is not having the hyenas. Also, it's important that the beast will be denied, so the kill command will only do 3 damage instead.
That's very true. Yeah, the Earthshot was just drawn this turn, so we'll see. I think that kind of actually is the play to go for here. I'm trying to see and what totem he gets first, which never hurt. Oh, actually denying the Mad Scientist.
Oh, he's stealing the high main. Oh, that's a very play. I was
buffing
like,
up his Sylvanas.
Wait, but that's game. That's exactly...
Well, now, yeah, actually... Now with the King Mukla, it is game. And before, it wouldn't have been, because he didn't have the Beast. It would have been just one off. But actually, that was a risky play, because he committed so much to getting the high main without healing. And Kaldi draws the Beast.
I'm impressed. That was a very... Well, Theude lost, but that was a very good play where... because I was thinking, like, you just Airshock, and then you attack the high main, you maybe steal the Mad Scientist, and then you play the heal bots to put yourself up. But then you look at your opponent, and you know that there is 5 damage you see, because there is a Hero Power and Eagle Hornbow, if he has the kill command in the hand, where you already seen 1 kill command, so you know that there is a lower chance that he has 1. He would need to have kill command and beast to kill you. And if he has the combination, you lose. But it's possible that he doesn't, and it's highly possible that he doesn't. So you go for this play, you steal the high main, you set up yourself to win the game in like 1-2 turns, where you have the heal bot still, so you can escape the range. So I think Theude's decision was actually correct, and was a fantastic play. Unfortunately for him, Kaldi actually had all the tools to finish the game.
Yeah, like you said, I think that play. For 1, obviously, it was a little bit outside the box, but for 2, that was the one play that he could have made to kind of get himself even back into the game, because otherwise the anti-kill about that turn would have been, again, another reactionary play, and it just would have kept going on for at least another 2 turns before he could play a couple more legendaries. So he took the big